All right, I'm trying to just kill some time, maybe create some content on my activities involving with the firearm carry and my fire enthusiasm. So I wanted to do just a kind of a recap of my carry history with certain firearms, uh, dating back probably to 1996 when Texas um, first passed the concealed handgun law. Now, prior to that law, I had purchased a Glock 17 when I was in the military, before I got in the Marine Corps. And then later on, I had purchased a Glock 19. But, of course, carry wasn't allowed at that time, so the only place I shot those pistols was at the range. Later on, I came across a 92F compact, which I wish I had with me, but it's stored away because I have not used that pistol in probably about 6 to 7 years. Um, I had that pistol customized to my carry. At that time, it was Teflon in black and OD green. I had it dehorned and so forth. Had some night sights installed on it. Progressed from the 92F compact to a 92D compact, and the gunsmith, it was Jim Horan out of Maryland, at that time, had gotten a lot of 92G compacts at that time with factory night sights, and offered me a deal on one. So I went ahead and picked one up, and I had, at that time, I carried that pistol for a while, but that was a couple of years later. I think probably like 90, I want to say 98 and so forth. But as far as straight up concealed carry, I want to start out with probably one of the first pistols that I carried once the 1996 law was passed. I was at a gun shop and I came across this old Firestar Model 42. It is 9mm. It is clear. Although this thing is completely still, single action, similar to a 1911. And when they passed the law, I said, well, this is probably the smallest pistol that I have, so let's get some carry gear. Of course, at that time, I was divorced, so I didn't have anything to worry about, basically. I had one son that I was paying child support, but expense-wise, I didn't have to worry about it. So I went ahead and contacted Mitch Rosen out of New Hampshire, and he constructed me some leather. Okay, and probably for about 2 years after 1996, I carried this pistol for probably about 2 years. And he made his leather for me with carry holsters. And I pretty much just carried 3 magazines, one in the gun chamber. These are 7-round magazines, and unfortunately these magazines are very hard to get, so I never bought any additional magazines because they were rather expensive. I think they ran into the $45 to $55 price range. Although this pistol right here has not been carried in quite some time. Additionally, Mitch Rosen had made me some belt. This is not the belt that he made for me at that time. Unfortunately, this is a 44. At that time when I was carrying, I did weigh a little bit less, so I think at that time I wore a belt size 30. But yeah, as we get up in age, we end up gaining a lot of weight. So there we go. First carry pistol. Excellent pistol. Heavy, but very compact. 9mm. 3-inch barrel. But even being a 3-inch barrel and the weight of the pistol, the recoil was not too severe, but somewhat severe, probably about 50% severe, but really enjoyable to shoot. I did have it customized, and at that time it was worn out, and I had it reblued, and I had somebody dehorn it a little bit. This right here I found right here really dug into my finger when I was shooting it. So I had him take off a little bit here. I did add the night sights. I don't know, like I said, about this pistol pre-96. And I want to say that I probably bought it in 92. So this pistol, before I even bought it, it was used. So I've had this pistol for probably at least 27 years. And like I said, I don't carry very much. I don't even shoot it very much. Pretty much stays in one of the gun cases. So there we go. First pistol, 9mm Firestar Model 43. As my interest in firearms increased, later on, I purchased a Smith & Wesson 942. This one is loaded, but you see I have a trigger guard. This is another one of my out-the-door pocket pistols. Okay. Now, of course, I did have Mitch Rosen construct me some leather for this one also. So I got inside the waistband, speed loader, and speed strip. When I do carry this pistol, I carry the speed loader, speed strip, and one additional speed strip in my pocket. Later on, since I was really enjoying the Model 42, I bought a Model 60. This one is loaded, 357 Magnum. This is just a standard, I'm trying to remember the brand name on here. I can't remember what it is. But this one works out for me. 357 Magnum, Model 60. With this one I carry 3 speed strips. Okay, as I said before, I progressed from the Firestar Model 43 to the J-frames, and then I started carrying the 92 Beretta. Like I said, I carried the 92F compact, then moved to the 92D compact, and then eventually I started carrying the 92G compact with a longer barrel. But in 2004, I re-enlisted and I went back into service. So I didn't carry for approximately 3.5 years, give or take, because I got out of the Army in 2007. So fast forward to 2007, I get out. I went go ahead and apply for my license again, and what I started carrying is the Glock 19. And some of my previous videos, I've talked about that I bought this one back in, I want to say 92, if I'm correct. I don't know what I said in the other video. So I've had this one for probably about 25 years, give or take. Added the night sights, started shooting in competition, and so forth. I do have concealed gear for this one, which is another Mitch Rosen. Now, I did not have Mitch Rosen make this one for me. I found this one on eBay, but I found it works great for me. Of course, by 2007, I was, of course, out of the Army, married. I didn't have a child on the way. Now I got 2 children. Well, to include my older son. So buying Mitch Rosen gear straight out was probably a little bit more expensive for me at that time. I was working as a lead cook at a YMCA, a YWCA. I'm sorry. So most of the Mitch Rosen leather that I've come across, with the exception of the most recent belt that he made for me. As I said in my other videos, that's a size 44 because I'm a very pleasantly plump person. I went ahead and scoured eBay, and over the course of years, I've been able to obtain an SOS for a Glock, single magazine for the Glock, another single magazine for the Glock, and a nice outside the waistband for the Glock 26, which I have also carried for a good period of time. During the winter, I did carry the 19 in this holster. This is an inside the waist, which just works out great, as you can just snap this on, snap it off. Okay. Now, there has been other methods of carry for the 26, which is the one that I carried the most after I had purchased it, to include the Glock 27, which I also carried before I carried the 26. So most of the gear that I had purchased was for the 27. But then I started carrying the 26. So also inside the waistband holster, pocket carry holster for the 26. So that's where I'm at right now. And I think we're probably somewhere around 2008, 2009, probably around that time. So those were my carry methods. I was either carrying the 19 or the 26 or the 27. And I was shooting this 19 in competitions a lot. So fast forward to say 2015, 2015, and so forth. Is when I got the 26, and I caught interest on the M&P. So the M&P is, like I said, I purchased it 3 years ago. So we're looking at 2016, 2015, like I said. And I purchased this one here. So I purchased this one here, used, dropped the 9mm barrel in it, started shooting the hell out of it. I really loved it. About 2 years after that, I find the shield. So this one I've been carrying for probably the last 2 years, give or take. I really do like it. It shoots really well. It conceals very well. I carry this with the Raven concealment holster, and occasionally 3 magazines. It all depends if I'm depending on where I'm going. I'll just toss one of these in my pocket and I'm out the door. Now, I used to use this type of holster, and I mainly use this holster for competition only, since they don't allow you to use this type. But I had a holster very similar to this one break around this area. I wish I had the holster so I could show you, but if you look at my uploads, you'll see a video on it where I was very, very unhappy with the holster maker, which also made these magazine carriers. I'm not going to discuss the holster maker. I think it's already a done deal. I'm never going to do business with him again. But needless to say that his inside the waistband holster that was configured similar to this broke on me. And that's it. So we're back to where I am right now. This pistol right now will be my future. I'm waiting on the slide to come back. And this is my current carry right now, alternating. Like I said, if I just choose to shoot this pistol on one day, I do change over to the J-frames. So the J-frames are always in the rotation. Although I found that I think this ammo is probably about 2 years old, which I'm going to have to go ahead and get rid of. So I might take these out of rotation depending on finding current ammo. Most current defensive ammo for the 38 and the 357 Magnum. So getting back, this will be my primary carry pistol. I do have a lot of other topics that I want to talk about, so there will be some additional videos discussing certain things that I'm going to be doing in regards to this pistol. Reference some of my other videos if you have any questions some of the stuff that I discussed in this particular video. I will be leaving links in the description below on some of the stuff that I've talked about in this video. Thank you for watching.